Oh, hi. This week, I'm going to briefly do a MIDI recording, and we're going to play with Quantize and velocity. This is going to be just a very simple exercise. So let's go ahead and, I'm a drummer, but I stink at keys, so this is going to be a good example of someone suffering from terminal caucasia. Let's go ahead and roll it. And the job offers come rolling in. All right, so let's go ahead and move this to the piano roll, and let's take a look-see at what we got here. Yeah, that's a mess. But most of the notes are where they're supposed to be. I can tell this is a bogey right here, so let's get rid of this. Boom, gone. Let's listen. Okay, so they're pretty much where they're all there, it's just they're not there. Let's see, I think I got that one fixed. One over. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and pretty this up a little bit. So let's go ahead and select them all. And to get to the Quantize menu in Pro Tools, you can right click and you can go to Event Operations, Quantize. And let's see, I want this to be pretty robotic, and I've got a 16th note grid. I want note on, note off, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the strength at 100. Okay, so, because that's something I will never achieve on a keyboard. So we're gonna hit apply, and as you see, they all kind of jumped into place. So let's listen to the difference. All right, so that did a great job of kind of putting things where they are, but my durations are all over the map here. So you got these and these and these. So I'm gonna just square these up and make them all short. And that's gonna make it sound very clipped. All right, so I'm good with the Quantize. I think everything's sitting and locked where it's supposed to be. I think the note durations are pretty much the way I want them. So we're gonna change now. We're gonna go over to change velocity. And right now, this thing is set at full crank at 127. That's the highest, you know, 1 being the lowest. And I wanna see what happens if I knock it all down to 27. You can see down here below that velocity row right here, at the bottom, they're kind of all over the map a little bit. So let's go ahead and select all of them. And we're going to set them all to 27. Watch them down here jump down. Boom. Look how little that is. Now let's see if that changes the sound, because certain instruments might have a different sound based on how hard you hit them. You can see that it's now very soft sounding, and it doesn't have that little bite on the beginning of each note. So I don't really like that. That's a little too mellow for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just take all the low notes, and I'm going to jack them all up to 127. And let's see if what that sounds like. Okay, that's better, but I still want a little more bite in there. So I'm going to take the note that's an octave above the low notes and do the same thing. Much better. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to save my work. Okay, let's put our drums back in. Okay then, that's a quick little example of how to use Quantize and velocity to salvage a otherwise unlistenable part. See you next week.